Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Hampden. On behalf of the board of the Scottish FA, I am absolutely delighted to welcome Steve Clarke as our new national team head coach. Over the last few weeks, the board and myself have conducted a diligent and robust recruitment process. We've assessed a high quality number of candidates. Throughout every stage in that process, Steve jumped out as the outstanding candidate. I think the job he's done at Kilmarnock, taking them from the position they were in when he took over to a top 6 finish last season, was an incredible achievement. To surpass that by finishing in 3rd place and guaranteeing European football for the club and finishing with a record points total was an outstanding achievement. I would like to thank Kilmarnock, Billy Bowie, Kirsten Robertson, the Kilmarnock board in particular for the way they've handled this process. It can't be easy for them to lose a manager who's achieved such success in such a short space of time, but we are absolutely delighted to have secured Steve's services and look forward to the rest of the qualifying campaign in the future with him in charge of the Scottish national team.
Thank you. Steve, do you have a couple of comments, please?
Thank you, Ian. It's nice to be on this side of the fence, eh? Listen, absolutely humbled and honoured to be the manager of my national team. Obviously I played for Scotland, so to manage Scotland now is probably the pinnacle of my career. As Ian said, I wouldn't be here without the time I had at Kilmarnock. It was a unbelievable 18-19 months that we had there. Great success. Again, thank you to Kilmarnock for everything that they gave me. They made this opportunity possible. But now is a new chapter, a new challenge. And anybody that knows me knows that I like to have a challenge. I like to challenge myself. If I was a lazy person, I'd still be sitting at Chelsea on the assistant manager's seat. I could have done that forever, but I like to challenge. This is a big challenge, and I look forward to the challenge.
Many congratulations. You've described this as the highlight of your career. Why do you feel this job is the right one for you at this stage in your career?
Very similar to when I decided to go to Kilmarnock. A lot of things fell into place, both professional and personal. So was a good time to leave. I had more or less made my mind up that it was time to leave Kilmarnock because of personal issues. If I'm being honest, the Scotland job came along and complicated things a little bit. But at the end of a complicated and difficult 7 days, more or less 7 days, 10 days, while I think I mentioned my head was like a tumble dryer, which I thought was quite apt. It's clearer now, better now. Delighted to finish the way that we finished the season at Kilmarnock. That was my big worry about the whole process. Was that the Scotland issue was going to accelerate and mean that we didn't finish the way we wanted to finish the season off at Kilmarnock. So to get that result at the weekend took a weight off my mind. Obviously yesterday was a busy day, but we quickly got everything sorted and all the proper signatures in the right places, and everything was agreed. And like I said before, delighted and absolutely honoured to be the manager of Scotland.
During your time with Kilmarnock, you had some run-ins with the XFA. You're now sitting there as their employee. Is that a bit odd?
It's different. So now I'm employed by the Scottish Football Association, but I can assure you I'm going to be working really hard for the Tartan Army.
Do you think you'll get your touchline banners in them?
No, that's a different process, a different matter. Is a club process. I accepted us. I had the hearing last week. Was a fair hearing. The sentence is what the sentence is. I served my one game on Saturday, which was a shame. I'd love to have been on the touchline for a game like that, but Alex Dyer handled it really well for me, and no complaints. Move on, next chapter.
Do you feel that one of your biggest challenges is to get not just the players on side but the supporters on side and get rid of that perception of apathy that seems to be around the national team?
Yeah, but I think everything it's not dissimilar to the situation I took over at Kilmarnock. Obviously on a completely different scale and with a different group of players and a different target audience, if you like, the Tartan Army. We want to make them proud of their country, proud of their team. We want them to come to the matches and get right behind the team like they always do. The numbers have dwindled a little bit, but it's my job to make sure that the team is focused. I only want players who are 100% committed to the national team. I'll certainly be 100% committed. I'll give everything I've got to try and qualify, and qualify through the group stages. I think that's important to say. We've slipped up in the first game, so we have to make sure that we pick up points later on in the tournament. And the 2 games coming up for us in June are absolutely crucial. It's why normally this year, after a long hard league season, I'd be lying on a sun lounger somewhere, relaxing. I can't relax. We have to make sure that between now and the Belgium game that we pick up points so that we get our qualifying campaign back on track. And that's the message that I'm going to be giving to the players, and it's the message that I'm sending out to the Tartan Army.
You mentioned in your statement yesterday the success that Shelley has had with the women's team. Do they set a benchmark for what Scottish football can achieve, do you think? Do you take inspiration from that?
It's vital that all the Scottish teams are successful, whether it's underage women's team or the women's team. And the women's team have done fantastically well to qualify for the finals in France. And it's up to the country now to show that support. I believe there's a game next week against Jamaica. Hopefully my schedule allows me to go, because I'll be there to support the women. We want success for the country. And if it means that the women's team can go and be successful, then that would be great. So we wish Shelley and all the women the best of success.
Steve, congratulations on your appointment. I can't remember the last time there was such enthusiasm and positivity surrounding the appointment of a national team manager as it has been with you today. How does that make you feel?
Under pressure. No, listen, there's obviously a big expectation, but it's great that I think it's probably better. It's always better to start with everybody on side, everybody on board, and then it's down to myself and the players to make sure that in the coming weeks and months that they stay on board, they stay on side. And like I said before, let's get a bit of positivity about the national team again.
You said there that you want players who are 100% committed. Perhaps in the last campaign we didn't see that. How do you go about trying to address that?
Oh, that will come down to my skills as a manager. I have to sell the idea. I have to sell the way that we're going to play, the way we're going to be in camp. But for me, I only managed to get 6 caps, and I tell you now, it still hurts me that I only got 6 caps, because I believe that my career deserved more. I missed out on. I was very close to the squad that went to Italia in 1990. I went on a pre-tournament trip to Italy. It was Genoa. I think there's about 26 players went, and I was one of the ones that got cut for the final selection. So that still hurts me. So a burning ambition of mine is to take a Scottish national team to a major tournament. And I think I spoke with Andy Robertson this morning, just to touch base. And if everybody is enthusiastic and determined as Andy is, we'll have a great chance. And I was saying to Andy about qualifying, it should be the pinnacle of your career as a professional to represent your country at a major tournament. And that is the carrot, that is what is in front of this current group of players. And hopefully we can achieve that.
Is that your message to them, Steve, that players, for whatever reason, didn't make themselves available? Listen. The door's open to everybody at this moment in time. If players have retired, then they have to unretire themselves. I won't be chasing down players who've retired. If a player has retired from international football, I respect that decision. And if they want to come back to the fold, they have to get in touch with myself or the Scottish Football Association and say that they want to make themselves available. The ones who've maybe pulled out of squads a little bit too easily, it's down to me to have that conversation with them, to sell my vision of what we're going to do as a national team and how we're going to approach this tournament. And hopefully we can get as many good players on board as possible, because over the course of a season, and it's going to be different for me as well, because I've only ever been a club manager, but I'm going to have to try and put in place a club philosophy that when the players come, they feel as though they're part of a club. What can you tell us about your background team, Steve? You suggested the governing body would be keen to bring Dan Fletcher on board. Is there anything in that? What can you tell us?
No, the backroom team will be my decision. I think it's very important that I have people working closely to me who understand what makes me tick, who understand how I want to put on my training sessions, who understand the message that I want to put across to the players. So at the moment in time, I'm trying, and speaking to Kilmarnock and Alex Dyer to try and get Alex to come, because he was a vital part of the recent success that we had at Kilmarnock. And Alex would come on a part-time basis and obviously stay and help Kilmarnock, which is important to both myself, Alex, or everybody, myself, Alex, and Kilmarnock. So I'm working on that one, and I've got 2 or 3 other names in mind that I'm speaking to, and hopefully I can persuade one of those to come with me. If there was a possibility to bring someone else, then I would look at that as well.
Kilmarnock were bottom of the table when you took over and you transformed it. Scotland are second bottom of the group. How difficult is this transformation? Is it a greater task?
The honest answer to that one, Roddy, is I'm not quite sure, because it's going to be a difficult task, but they're already second bottom, so that's a step in the right direction. They're not at the bottom. And I think it's just important for everyone to try and get that little bit of positivity. Like I said, the 2 matches coming up are absolutely crucial, and if we can pick up at least 4 points out of those 2 games would be a good start. But first and foremost, Cyprus here, we have to respect the opposition. Anybody who's been at any of my press conferences before know that it's all about respect for the opposition and then going out and trying to beat them. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to prepare well for the 2 games coming up, and we're going to try and win both games.
Steve, can you tell us what was going through your mind in terms of the pros and cons of taking this job?
Pros and cons. Well, the pros is obviously what I've just spoken about. Is how can you turn down the chance to be the manager of your country, having played? So it just ticked another box on the way in my career. You know, I've played in Scotland. I've managed in Scotland at the highest level. I've played in England. I've managed in England at the highest level. I've played international football. And now I'm going to tick another box where I'm going to be an international manager. So that was a big thing. The cons obviously are dealing with all you guys and more media exposure. People who know me know that I like to be quiet and reserved and enjoy my life. I miss my family and my time in Scotland, so I had to weigh that up as well. Like I said, there was a lot of me that was thinking just go home and relax and see if a job turned up in England. But the lure of this job was just too much, and having discussed it with my wife and my children, we decided we couldn't turn it down, and we're going to give it our best shot.
You talked there about the difference between obviously being a club manager, being an international manager, and the all that comes with that. Will you miss the kind of day-to-day side of things, and how you cope with that?
I think I'll miss the day-to-day side of things, because obviously I love coaching. I love being out on the pitch. It'll mean that I've probably got even more intensity in my training sessions when the boys do turn up. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be different. I don't know how the job's going to pan out, because I don't know how the job works. I'm going to have to learn that. I'm going to have to learn very quickly, so that when the boys come to, or the players come to the camp in a couple of weeks' time, that I'm ready to put on training sessions that get them ready for the games. So in a very short space of time, I'm going to have to learn a lot. And then I'm going to have to adapt to the free time that I have. I'm going to have to adapt to going to watch a lot more football than I would have done before. I'm going to have to travel the country, speak to players, try and keep in contact with them out of camp. So yeah, a lot for me to learn, and I'm not going in and saying that I'm going to do everything perfectly well. I'm going to make mistakes, but hopefully not too many big mistakes.
Last 2 questions.
You've mentioned that short space of time you've got a squad to get together for these qualifiers. Is it enough time for you to properly look, or is that something you've been doing already?
No, I was fully committed to the job at Kilmarnock. It was vitally important to me that we finished third. I'm glad we did, but obviously I watch football all the time. I live for football, it's my life, so I've got a good idea what's around, what's out there. Maybe 1 or 2 that we can tempt to come and join us, to help us. Maybe 1 or 2 that I can tempt back. And obviously there'll be some around the squad that don't get selected this time, but these are things that will be addressed over the next week before I announce the squad. I think it's this time next week I announce the squad, so plenty of work to do. I don't think I'll be sleeping too much.
Will you help Kilmarnock in their search for your successor? I mean, and you've obviously got a great relationship with Billy Bowie. The Kilmarnock fans will feel mixed emotions at the moment, I'm guessing.
I think on that one, the best thing to say is Billy made a pretty good choice the last time, so I'll leave it to Billy.